What do you want me to do about it?
I want you to pick it up.
Why?
Because you threw it on the floor.
I didn't throw it. I said, get it. I'm not doing porn room again. I've done it 16 times.
Dan, this is our best puppet. You threw it on the fucking ground.
What the fuck are you talking about?
I brought all these puppets in for our new promotion. We're back on puppets.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the porno movies I slapped out of your hands.
No, I don't care about those. Here, let's toss a few more around. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, you like that? I don't like these fucking puppets, dude. I don't fucking like them. I'll tell you that right now.
I'm
sick of it.
Pick them up.
No. What's his name?
Nip.
I knew you fucking named him. I knew you did it. You got a fucking problem, dude.
He's our best little guy. Pick him up.
No. You're getting too connected to this shit, dude. This isn't even what we're supposed to be fucking doing in life, okay?
Pick up the fucking puppet.
I've seen you angry. But this is a whole new fucking level.
Yeah, dude. Well, you're being super disrespectful.
I just think you can simmer down a little. Where the fuck are you getting all these? That's the question.
I got one and then they just started showing up.
I don't think that's the case.
We got that one from the attic. And now there's a bunch of them.
There was never a we. This is you.
Dan. We'll got to deal with this later. Shut the fuck up. Put your leathers on. There's fucking rival gang heading into the store.
We're closed.
Good morning.
Well.
Good morning. How are you, fellow businessmen?
What blew you pieces of trash and...
You fucking filth. You scum.
That's what we've heard you guys deal with in here.
Yeah, we
Hello.
fucking Eiffel Towered your fucking moms last night.
Get the fuck out.
Okay. Well, there's no need for that.
Serge, do you know what that reference means?
I fucked your mom? That's what it means?
Okay.
He got
an
you
answer.
there. I mean, he got you there. What else could it mean?
Yeah.
Welcome to
been...
5-day rentals.
Okay. Well.
How dare you walk in here wearing those fucking colors?
Oh, I'm so angry I could spit right now, dude.
Take that shit off.
Spit.
Take that shit off.
I'm a little confused because you actually emailed us about the parlay.
How?
Who signed that?
Who?
You.
Whose name is on there?
You did.
Listen, the only emails I send you guys every week is the ones that say, fuck you.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And
We've gotten those.
yes, it came from the same IP address.
We write up those boner pill ads and we flood your inbox with those.
That's a good one, dude. That's a good one. I like that.
We have an incredible spam filter, so anything X-rated.
Is that what
Right
you're here
up.
for? The fucking porn room? Go at it. We won't tell anybody.
Oh, I thought you were going to print out all of those sick emails and try to hand them to me. No. Well,
Dan,
we're
fire
here
up
to
the
ask
printer.
you to stop.
Stop what?
Yes.
You know,
Squash it.
it's done.
Well, we want you to stop.
Existing?
Yes.
Winning?
Providing family films at affordable prices.
You're
Get
stealing.
the fuck off of our property.
Because that is one thing we will not stop doing.
You're stealing customers.
You're darn right, Serge. I believe it's a different clientele.
How many big ass movies do you even have over there?
Yeah.
We've got
Let's
the
see your-
biggest titles.
Just, you know, you
Avatar
wanna say
2,
ass.
Way of Water,
You know
4K.
you want to say ass, dude. Say ass. Just say ass.
You can say it here.
Say it.
You can say it.
This is freedom, dude. This is America here.
Mm-hmm.
Say it. Say it and I'll listen to you.
He's making my nose bleed, Serge.
That's what I thought. That's what I fucking thought.
That
dude.
big wall training paid off.
Come on, man. We're shirts off smoking in here. Just
Nope.
let loose.
Nope. Both of us can exist. You guys are the smut, and we are the family.
Yeah. There's no overlap. We only have Blu-rays. If you have whatever this shit is. Oh, pardon.
Serge. This vile place.
Put
I
that
know.
Put that Betamax down, dude. You don't deserve to touch that.
Sounds like Serge wants a beer.
Serge, launch that Betamax at a high rate of speed across the store.
Do not throw that.
Whoa, dude! Hey!
Whoa, Serge.
Good job, Serge.
Plenty more where that came from.
I'm
if you
getting
don't step off.
I'm getting
Fucking
the kendo stick, dude. You fucked up.
I'm getting the gun, dude.
I'm getting mad right now.
I'd like both of you to step to me right now.
Could one of you pick up this puppet from the ground?
Come
at
around
least?
that counter.
Pick up the puppet.
Come around that counter, boy.
Nobody's scared of you,
No one is scared of you here.
dude.
Then why won't you walk up to me?
You fucking have a man
Walk
bun.
up to me. I came all the way over here.
For what? Yeah, you don't even
Fucking shit
remember.
out of you, you fucking asshole.
Oh. Hey!
Calm down.
Living a little.
Remember what you read in Wild at Heart.
Dan,
There's some tigers in these boys, I think.
Dan, go get the box of bricks.
I already got them. They're right here.
Fuck yeah, dude. You guys
Shove
down
them
for a
up your
brick fight?
fucking asses.
Oh,
Oh!
you guys getting fired up, dude.
Sounds like he's getting the blood flowing.
Dan, give him a brick.
I think he's hard, dude. Look at that.
Here's one for you, Serge. Just chuck those anywhere you want.
Serge,
Hell
Did
yeah,
you-
dude. Serge did not care.
you hit the puppet
Feels
section
good,
right on. dude.
honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Give me one of those fucking bricks.
You guys, whoa! Yeah! You guys want a beer?
It was all a decoy. Break the windows.
Dan, I'm gonna help him break
Let's
the
go,
windows,
Serge.
dude.
Cheese it.
Fuck. This
All right,
this got way out of hand.
I don't even care, dude. I was gonna chuck those bricks through those windows later today, so
I mean, those guys had potential. I think they were pretty cool.
I think we could get them back.
Yeah.
They want to hang out.
Next time.
Well, shit. I guess we'll wait for the window guy to show up. Let's pop in a movie, dude.
Better get the broom.
This week it's Pin from 1988, directed by Sander Stern on the 5-Day Rentals podcast. All right, welcome back, everybody, to the 5-Day Rentals podcast. This is the video store podcast where each week we take turns picking a flick that we think meets a fun, non-genre specific category. This round's category is... Are you ready? It's the Revenge 5, the Revenge of Puppets Revenge / New Moon. No full moon feature puppet movies will be selected. I am your host. I'm Kron Howard. I'm joined as always by a couple true poets. It's Bones and Laundry Dan. How you doing?
Howdy. Howdy, Kron. I'm fine. Pumped. Ready to go.
Bones, this is where you also say hello on the podcast.
Oh, I thought our guest was going to do ventriloquism for me.
This is Bones.
Nailed it. We do have a guest this week. We are joined by the one and only Chris from Mount Molehill. How's it going, dude?
Great. Glad to be here talking puppets.
Hell yeah. We should just right off the bat. I texted Dan and Bones earlier today.
Attacked?
I said, just so we're all clear, you guys are the ones responsible for every puppet category that ever gets selected. A little history, Dan. You did compare Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles to Pinocchio. And then you both said, we should do an entire puppet category. So I said, okay, I like my bros. I like hanging out. I'll pick a puppet category. I don't really like them. These guys love them. And then, Dan, you went on Discord, fired your mouth off, blamed me for all the puppet stuff. That's how we wound up here. I guess once and for all, 2 questions to both of you. 1, can you admit that you like puppet movies? And 2, can you admit that this is all you're doing?
Bones, I'll allow you to retort first.
I'm too busy pissing into humidifiers, cutting myself, getting high on spray paint, because we're role reversing, right? That's what this is.
No,
it's fucking opposite day.
Okay.
So
okay, that's fine.
Let me do a bunch of fucking drugs, and let you try to be nice and run a show, and I'm just gonna do whatever the fuck I want, because it's fucking opposite day.
Dan, do you have anything you'd like to add?
We have a 7-star movie on this show called Batman Forever. And at the 2-hour and 55-minute mark, Kron Howard says he introduces medieval times for Pinocchio's Revenge, I believe. And he says, I quote, "a category I made up just to shoehorn this film in."
Mm-hmm. For you. For you.
That sounds like you're trying to just get it in there. To me.
All right, well, you heard it there, ladies and gentlemen. We will have another puppet category in the future until these guys can admit to themselves who they are. Chris will bring you back for Puppet 6.
Hell yeah.
And until you admit it, we're going to keep watching these fucking puppet movies.
Why is this so important to you?
Because I feel like I get the blame for the puppet stuff.
You're the only one that has 2 puppet categories.
Because you directly challenged me on Discord. You told bold-faced lies, and now
what
we're
did
doing
I
more
say
puppet
on
movies.
Discord?
Well, it's been deleted since by Bones, but you came on there and you were like, Kron's always picking all these puppet movies. We're sick of doing puppet movies.
Don't make it seem like I've purposely deleted evidence.
Well,
I switched over the Discord for an April Fool's prank.
Why am I on trial here?
I would just like you guys to admit that you like puppet stuff.
This is self-hatred is what this is. This is
from all of us or just Kron?
This from Kron.
Okay. Thank you.
Because I'm with you. I will admit, yeah, we might have said, let's do a puppet category.
1.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then Dan ripped on me on Discord, and now we're here.
It doesn't, Dan. It doesn't. We can't do anything right. We pick bad erotic thrillers, apparently.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
See? How is this even a puppet movie?
Well, it's a doll. Puppet/dolls.
It's a mannequin.
More of a dummy.
I mean, it's
Thank
a
you,
big
Chris.
doll. It's a big doll. Right? It's a human-sized doll.
There ain't no strings on that bitch.
Well, it's not a marionette.
That's an instrument.
Chris. We're here to talk Pin. We can settle all this on Revenge 6. There's no need to belabor the point.
Pretty good
Yeah.
movie, too. I'd worked through all this shit.
We brought someone on who I knew was going to be pumped up about more puppet movies.
Oh, yeah.
We're watching Pin. Pretty sure you have seen this movie before, right?
Oh, yeah. Probably about 10 times. I actually, before the Boneslarian jihad on physical media, used to own this on DVD.
I mean, I think it goes for a pretty penny these days. I looked up the DVD and it's like $89.
$80. Yep.
Yeah.
Pretty penny.
I don't know why. Like, why is this so hard to get in the U.S.? There's a 4K and a Blu-ray for Region B.
Yes, which is just an AI upscale and does not look very good. But it's the only readily available version of this movie.
I mean, who's got the rights? Like, they're obviously preventing it from being put onto disc, but this thing is just available on YouTube.
Well, I believe this was intended to be the last theatrical release for New World, but New World shortly, or like in the process, went bankrupt or something like that. But you would think, Roger Corman's not allergic to making money, so I don't know why there's no physical disc of it anywhere.
So does New World still, own this?
I don't know. Probably some Canadian person. I don't know.
Chris,
It is very Canadian.
Is it a genuine love of the puppet, or is it, as a listener of this show, enjoy the torture?
Both.
Okay.
I mean, like I said, I have seen this probably 10 times. You don't do that if you don't like it.
Yeah, okay.
Maybe at the end we'll have you throw out some puppet titles we should be covering.
What more is left?
You don't even want to know.
There's a deep well, Dan. It's full of puppets.
And that's what I want. I want you to do more puppet categories because we eventually will hit just the worst stuff. And you'll have to live in that for a month.
It's going to get to the point where somebody puts a sock on their hand, and that constitutes a puppet movie for Kron. It's just going to be, there's action figures in the back of this shot. So those are dolls. This is a puppet movie. Because that's how this category already felt.
Here's this Mick Foley documentary.
Yes. Here's Beyond the Mat. Let's watch that.
Come on. I mean, I think this is doll-centric, this movie.
Okay,
Pin is a pretty integral part.
If you're going to shit talk that Jade is a bad erotic thriller,
I've come around on Jade.
That dog won't fucking hunt, dude.
I've come around on Jade.
What about cat people?
No, that wasn't a good pick.
Dan, I'm going to back you up. That was an erotic thriller.
It was?
Yeah, I'm back. I'm on your side.
Thank you. Thank you, Bones.
Guys, we'll settle that.
I didn't like
rewind.
the movie, but that doesn't mean it.
That'll be a separate rewind.
Bring your fucking box of bricks over here, dude.
I don't know why you guys are so mad.
I'm not mad.
I say puppets, you guys get mad.
I'm happy to be here. I think you're just reaching.
At a certain point, there's a level of our anger that is for fun, and it's part of it. Mm-hmm. I just don't think you realize where the line is, and then it's like you start to think that anger is truly directed at you, and then you go, I gotta fucking flip this. Teflon Kron. This is all your guys' fault.
But what provoked that message today?
I was just sitting at work and I was like, man, these fuckers. These fuckers always pin this puppet shit on me.
It is your category.
Well, I picked them for these guys. I want to make my puppet pals happy.
They don't seem too happy.
I love that. That's what you did at work today. These fucking guys. Were you watching Ben or something?
Nah, I was just thinking about it. I was like, I know.
I haven't started any shit today yet.
Yeah. I was just wanting to stir the pot, get ahead of it a little because I knew I'd probably say something on this episode.
You genuinely can just text me like, hey, dude, how's it going? And we could talk.
I feel like we got a lot of that out of our system at the in-person records.
Okay.
We're good for a year on regular interpersonal communication.
chit-chat?
Yeah.
Okay.
Before we start, Chris, please tell everybody where they can find you. I'm hoping Mount Molehill Season 2 is right around the corner.
It's not, but it'll be out someday, maybe. Yeah, I do a podcast called Mount Molehill. It's a podcast where even the smallest mysteries become mountains. I pick some sort of esoteric thing and hyper focus on it. And you can find us on Spotify and Instagram, I believe, is at Mount Molehill Podcast. And that's about it.
I mean, probably the best amongst us, right, in terms of sheer research. I don't think I've worked as hard in 3 years on this show as you've worked on a single episode of yours, so.
And I'll tell you, Kron, I believe it.
It shows.
It shows, dude. Hell, I was late to this record. I mean. Guys, this is Pin from 1988.
Thanks for being here, Chris.
Yeah,
Thanks for having me.
Appreciate you.
I just want to say, we're all podcasters. We love movies. It's always fun when someone says, hey, what's a movie you would like to cover? But the best feeling is when someone says, do you want to cover this movie? And it's something you would have suggested without them ever asking. And that's what we have tonight.
I knew someone was going to be happy.
Was that made better by the fact that it was over a Discord call during a recording of a commentary, while said person who made call might have been a little fucked up?
Yeah, I was certainly a surprise. And I think there was maybe the impression that I was slightly annoyed, but I want to say that's not the case, other than I am the type of person who, as soon as they are on the phone, they're trying to get off immediately.
Okay,
So
fair enough.
there's that, but it was more confusion than anything. But yeah, glad to be a part of it.
We were happy to have you for the in-person records.
Yeah, it was a wild weekend.
Guys, this is Pin from 1988. Directed by Sander Stern. Yes, Bones. Oh, we should rate my letterbox? All right, let's do that. Guys, this is Rate My Letterboxd. What do you think I rated the movie Pin?
Listeners at home, currently on Letterboxd, this is sitting at a 3.4 average user rating. I'm going to go 3.5 for Kron.
I think Kron is I think it's a 3.0.
I'm going to go 3.0.
Locked.
All right, so we got these kids, and they're sneaking over to this house. They want to look at a dummy that's hanging out in the window. Already getting the impression not too much happens in this town. It does seem very much like a urban legend kind of thing. Like they all know of this puppet. You know, it's been passed down from kid to kid at school. One of these kids, his buddies challenge him to go up and get a closer look. Climbs up like a little lattice work on the side. Gets right up to the window. He's looking in at this dummy, and it says, "Get out."
I mean, you knew it was going to be this kid, right? Just based off what he was wearing. Like an acid wash jean jacket.
Yeah.
Fedora.
3 out of 4 of them were wearing Canadian tuxedos.
I think the kid in the New York Mets hat is like, yeah, that's the goody two-shoe kid. He's not going to do it.
Did this kid have a fedora on?
It was like a backwards beret.
Yeah, it's like I think he had some sunglasses on the back of it maybe too. I don't know. But yeah, you're like, that's the badass kid that's...
Well, he also
Anybody
had all
else?
that climbing gear and carabiners and shit. Like, he was prepared to climb that day.
Yeah, bag full of chalk.
Yeah.
I think it was a good fuck you to his buddies. Like, hey, I'm going to fucking climb up here and fucking take a look.
I was that kid in my group of friends. Were any of you that kid?
You were climbing up to look at dummies in the window?
Yeah, all the time.
The fuck it, I'll do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I might still be that guy.
I don't think that was me, but I would have definitely been telling one of you to do it.
You
That
would have
tracks.
you would have found out that it was a mannequin up there. You're like, yeah, I've been staring at this guy in this window for months. And it'll be like, huh?
I would have said don't do it. I would have pleaded with you not to do it. I would have contemplated leaving when you started climbing, but then the hero in me would have stuck around because just in case you fell, I knew the other two were going to bail.
I would have instantly bailed.
That's kind of how my experience as a child was.
Oh, thank you, Bones.
Please don't. Oh, damn it. Okay. Fine.
I got to carry this kid back now.
Yep.
I always know I got a strong ally in Bones when we're in a puppet category.
I'd have been, well, you guys do love this stuff, so
Yeah.
of course you do. All right, we cut over to these two little blonde-haired, blue-eyed Aryan children. They're getting ready for bed. Upstairs, their dad, who's Terry O'Quinn, is watching like classical music on a 5-inch TV.
What year is this?
So that, I guess that was supposed to be 1973, or it said like 15 years earlier.
Yeah, that tracks. I used to love as a kid just getting a fucking high sugar cookie and a nice tall glass of milk right before bed. Certainly has not led to any dietary association issues, Certainly doesn't fuel IBS problems or pre-diabetes.
Dude, I got one
Start these kids young. Fill them full of sugar and dairy right before they go to bed.
I got one that's like, can I have candy? I'm like, no. 7:30.
Well, it is. I mean, I'm sure all of us ate, whatever cereal was around first thing in the morning. And that stuff is just like, might as well be having 2 cups of raw sugar at that point.
Not if you get Magic Spoon. With Magic Spoon, you can have all the childhood favorite cereals that you enjoyed, but sugar-free.
That's right, Dan. And not only sugar-free, but loaded in fiber. And as the older I get, I find that fiber is this magic fuel that just sort of keeps me full throughout the day and regular in the afternoon.
The 2 o'clock fullness will still be there. Plus, you get all the vitamins and minerals you need through the day with Magic Spoon.
And that's right. 2 o'clock comes around and you start to crash. That's why Magic Spoon has introduced afternoon bars with even more fiber to make that drive home even more thrilling.
We got cinnamon squares. We got the fruit circles. Anything you can think of. Smacks. It'll smack you in the face with how good it is.
That's
Magic
right, Dan.
Spoon.
Use our code 5DR at checkout to get 2 cents off of a Magic Spoon bar.
Is the thrill of the drive home that you might shit yourself?
Yeah.
Shh. Don't be telling people that, dude.
That's the way the promo made it sound.
Yeah.
Right. This guy tells his girl, Ursula, he says, count to 10, which she does. No
Terrible
problem. Ursula?
Yes.
That's what Disney's taught you to believe, dude.
Huh?
Isn't Ursula the mean lady in Little Mermaid?
Yeah, we know
Don't act like you don't know.
Nah.
Well, when Dan said what, it made me second question if that was the case.
I've known a few Ursulas. German ladies.
Yeah, I was going to say they usually have some sort of Scandinavian or Germanic sort of background.
One was nice.
All right,
One wasn't
Ursula,
so much.
she counts to 10, no problem. But the boy, his name is Leon, he gets assigned to count backwards from 100 by sevens, which is way fucking harder.
I can't do that.
He's older.
Yeah.
Do you think you could do it right now?
I'm not going to.
I'm
but
not asking you. I'm
But
not
I
asking you
could.
to.
Yes.
But would you,
kind of want to hear it.
how
No.
quickly could you do it though? Would you get to a number where you were like, I have to count back 7 from here?
I think there would be the inevitable sort of bumps, but I feel confident in my math before I said it. I'm not saying I would do it like super quick.
Mm-hmm.
In my 20s, I would practice saying the alphabet backwards just on the off chance I got pulled over.
Chris, could you do this?
What?
The
The 7 thing?
yeah.
The accent on this was like you were going to hold something up.
I have to agree
Yeah.
with Chris. Yeah.
Probably. I mean, like Bone said, it would all be subtraction. I mean, that's just how I would do mental math. I wouldn't be fast at it, but I could get there.
Hell yeah.
There was a very
Oh.
pregnant pause as if I was supposed to do it.
Oh, I thought maybe you just spontaneously.
You know these
Well, that's
two.
fine.
You know these two.
93? 86?
Leon fucks up the count. Dr. Frank says, good try, but off to bed with you. Cut over to the next day. Dr. Frank, that's Terry O'Quinn's character.
Do
That's
we see
his
them
name in
brush
the
their
credit.
teeth?
No.
I think they already did.
They already did.
Also, the way it's framed, it looks like they're eating cookies and milk in the bathroom.
Mhm.
Well,
Right over the sink so mom doesn't have
Yeah.
to clean. Yeah.
that's the best place to have them. And then if someone's like, what are you doing? You're like, brushing my teeth.
Did this happen in your house?
That's why I have no teeth anymore.
I have a piece of banana bread in the shower every morning.
What?
Why? Doesn't it get all soggy?
Sounds fucking awful.
It melts the butter. It gets all steamy and stuff.
Do you like put it down somewhere and
Yeah,
then
on the
pick
little
it up?
soap tray.
Well, I mean, I've dropped it a few times and had to waffle stomp it through the drain. I'm not gross. I'm not picking it up and eating it again, but
Dude, you can only waffle stomp turds, not anything else.
we talked about this. You can waffle stomp anything. Waffle stomping is pressing something through the shower drain.
I guess I mean, like, you've got the shower running and warming up.
Yes.
Are you holding a piece of banana bread as you get into the shower, or have you placed it on like the edge of the tub?
I have a special suction cup soap dish that is specific for the banana bread.
Is this a fucking true story? It is. It probably is. Where do you
Does
guys
your-
put your shower beers?
Your gestures are not clarifying anything, Bones.
Sorry, listener.
Does the holder also hold soap, or is it banana bread only?
Ugh, dude.
Do you ever get mixed up and wash your underarms with your banana bread?
It smells fucking great.
No biggie.
There's got to be a banana bread scented soap, right?
Sure.
Probably at least banana scented.
Why would you want to smell like bananas?
You don't like the smell of banana?
Maybe if you worked at the zoo and like cat people. That erotic thriller.
Maybe you're just like trying to like plug into like a tropical kind of vibe for the day.
I mean, you can use the inside of a banana peel to polish your shoes.
That is true. That is true. We learned so fucking much here on 5 Day Rentals. That's a 360.
You're like a MacGyver, but only for banana stuff.
It's the magical fruit, dude.
Dude,
Fuck
you
what
should
they
see
say
him-
about beans.
You should see him play Mario Kart. All he throws is the fucking banana peels.
See,
Yeah,
I practice throwing bricks because that makes the bananas even easier to toss.
All right, we cut over to the next day. Dr. Frank is a pediatrician. He's seeing a young patient. Leon and Ursula are also there, which seems like a violation of patient rights, I would say.
HIPAA, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if we had HIPAA in the 70s.
That's a good point.
The trade-off was this hospital bill's probably $750.
Dr. Frank actually pays you when you leave
Yeah.
somehow.
You think this is where HIPAA got the idea? Some guy was like, I don't think there should be two kids just hanging out in there.
I think one of the P's in HIPAA stands for pin. Like, you can't have a pin in the exam room.
Mm-hmm.
Look, it's just too dangerous.
God damn, Dan. Way to emphasize that.
That was 3620 bones.
Also in the room is Pin, who is an anatomical dummy. Dr. Frank says it looks like we got another case of the flu. Oh, wait, Pin says that. I'm sorry. No disrespect. Dr. Frank says it's hard to work when someone's talking. Now, obviously, Dr. Frank has just learned to throw his voice. He's doing a ventriloquist routine with this dummy. Probably, I don't know, I guess it makes the kids like going there more.
Is it obvious?
Wait, what?
It wasn't for old Bones on the first watch.
I will say the first time I did watch this movie, which a few years ago, yeah, I didn't get that either.
So you all thought the dummy, like they were just in a world where that dummy could talk?
I thought just mentally he was
I mean, yeah, that's kind of part of the movie, isn't it? It's like a will they, won't they? Is he or isn't he?
Yeah. It wasn't until like the close up on him. I think it's a little bit after this, right? When the kids are standing there talking to him.
Mm-hmm.
That I was like, oh, okay, that's what it is. And then even later with Leon, I wasn't sure until the fucking boyfriend says something.
Yeah.
They were like super into this too, huh? Holy shit.
There was something in this movie that I was really into. And we'll get there.
Leon and Ursula go to leave, but Dr. Frank comments to Pin that this boy, he's got some rose in his left lung. I'm not really sure what rose is, but I guess it's some sort of ailment.
It's a particular sound that you can
like
hear.
A gargly kind of thing?
Excuse me. I can't remember if it's on inhalation or exhalation, but it's a very, like, you can hear it through the stethoscope.
Okay.
It's kind of like a crackle.
I don't think I'd ever heard that before.
Yeah.
Described as like rose.
I may be totally wrong. I'm 10 years out of this shit, so.
Pin says, is the concern pneumonia? The doc sees Leon is watching all this and he tells him to leave. Later that day, the maid calls Leon over. Leon and his friends have tracked a bunch of mud through the house. She's pretty mad.
That's his mom.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Is that the mom?
Yes.
I couldn't tell.
It's a little Freudian slip right there.
Shit, dude.
What? She's acting like a maid.
Gee.
They seem like they're wealthy enough to have a maid.
True.
He's a doctor, I guess, yeah.
All right, fine. The mom calls Leon over. She's very mad at him for tracking mud through the house. I probably have maid in my notes like 10 more times. This is going to be a tricky one.
Did you think it was weird that the maid was going to the medical conference with the dad?
Well, I thought that was the mom, but I guess I didn't think they were the same woman. I thought Dr. Frank just had a type, you know?
I do not feel bad about not understanding the voice throwing at first.
All right, the mom's pretty mad. Leon mouths back to her, and she just smacks him right across the face.
You made me do that, Leon.
Solid looking slap.
Yeah.
Do you
If
think
he-
that?
He learned it.
Do you think that actress was like, "Hey, there's no way to fake these"? So
I kind of think so because you can. He's definitely prepared for it. I don't know.
he leaves the house. He goes for a walk. He's kind of heading over to his dad's office. He sees his dad leave. He's like, "I want to go up there and see what Pin's doing." He walks up to the office, says hello to Pin. He knows he's not supposed to talk to Pin when Dad isn't around. But there's no one else he can talk to. He's got no friends. Suddenly,
He does
Leon.
have friends, though.
Those kids tried to be his friends,
Yeah.
like right before this.
Yeah.
Well,
one of them
the
does.
the one kid is like, "Come play ball with us," and the other one is like, "That fucking loser."
He'll get all dirty and his
Well,
mom
they
will
just-
get mad.
They're calling him a loser because he never plays with them. And
Yeah,
they
he has a chance.
looked like a gang from the Warriors. Like, why were those kids dressed like that?
You gotta be tough up north, dude. I mean,
Yeah, the one has like a bright red shirt on with like a vest. Yeah.
Rough streets of Montreal.
What would be their gang name up there?
The Burnouts, the BC, British Columbia Burnouts.
it's pretty good.
We're the Pucks.
Yeah, maybe like the Beavers or something. What do they got a lot of up there?
Yeah.
I love that shit.
The Scrim Hortons.
That's pretty good. Suddenly, Leon hears a nurse approaching. He hides.
The poutines. But teens is Teen.
Nailed it.
This lady comes in. She lifts the little towel that covers up Pin's crotch, which I guess has full male genitalia. She picks this dummy up, lays down on the examining table, and then I guess fucks it.
Couple things. She waits all of 15 seconds for her coworker to leave before she starts fucking this
She's
dummy.
been thinking about this since 8 a.m.
It's Friday.
She knew what she was doing. She had it all mapped out, dude.
And then, does Pin have an erection, or is she just mashing like a flaccid plastic penis and balls into her?
I don't think he would have an erection.
It's all about pressure, baby. So maybe it was just having the full body feel was enough for her to grind on whatever little nub he's got.
Maybe it is like flaccid, but there's more weight to it than a normal man because it's a
Speak
it's a
for
dummy.
yourself.
I'm just saying. I'm trying. Mine's heavy, dude.
But then the third question is that if she can climax that quickly, why even bother with the fucking dummy?
Maybe that's what it is, though.
It's foreplay, Chris. She's been throwing glances at Pin all shift.
I think she's also probably left the door unlocked, and it's kind of like a thrill for her, you know?
Mhm. She took a fiber bar. She's just like, can I get this done before I
she's
mess
right.
my whites?
She's racing the clock.
Wouldn't she have like a better option with the hand, maybe?
With Pin's hand or her hand?
Pin's hand.
We don't see what she does with Pin's hand.
That's true.
I hope. Did you think she changed the paper on the exam table when she was done?
No. She left it all
It
crinkled.
wasn't rustly enough for me.
She likes to come back and see it to be like,
Oh, there's like
I know what happened there.
little like a dry spot.
We'll leave that for Leon's mom to clean up.
After she's done, she comes in.
I wouldn't be surprised if she cleans the office on the weekends.
Like a maid would do?
Yeah.
Interesting. We cut to the next day. It's a birthday party for Ursula. Dr. Frank, he takes out 2 gifts. He says one is from your parents and one is from Pin. Leon is like, open the one from Pin. We gotta see what he got you. They open it up. It's kind of like a little, I don't know, like a music box thing. It's a ballerina that spins around and plays a little tune. That night, Leon and Ursula are laying in bed. Leon says, this is exactly the kind of gift I would expect Pin to get for us.
He's always talking about music boxes.
Such a weird line.
Pin likes him thin.
Ursula is looking at like a Playboy magazine and wondering if like, are my boobs going to look like this? Do mom's boobs look like this?
Well, it's Canada, so it's probably a Wee magazine, if anyone remembers those from back in the day.
Was that their like Canadian equivalent of Playboy?
I don't know if it was Canadian, but there's, finding it on the side of the road every once in a while, a Wee magazine.
Chris, don't tell him about this because then we'll have fucking trading cards.
I am going to look into that. Let's see.
Okay, can we... This relationship with the brother-sister, this is awkward as fuck. At this point, before we go too far, what is the doctor's use of Pin? Because there's almost like this Santa Claus level, right? Like this mysticism. Is it he is just unable to tap into his emotions, so he's comfortable teaching through Pin? And he doesn't want to break the mystique? Like, at what point do I was 8 or 9 by the time I kind of figured out that Santa Claus wasn't real, But I would hope that your parents would tell you at a certain point it's not.
What?
Sorry, dude.
Bones, dude.
Shit, we don't got another hour to spare, man. Come on.
I mean, I do think the dad has a weird relationship with Pin because it seems like he uses that to have any awkward conversation that he needs to have with his family.
And just like what would normally, for a normal person, be an inner monologue. Because he does it when other people aren't even around.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I get you though, Bones. I was on the same level. Like, how doesn't Leon know this is like fake? I got you.
That seems to be one of the more tragic parts of the story, is that the father didn't break that allure. I get like trying to tell Ursula, it's her 7th birthday or whatever. Here's a gift from Pin, whatever. But bring Leon in on it.
Well, he's probably just not the type of person that... He probably doesn't have conversations with his kids. It's probably all one way.
Yeah.
And, I mean, from his perspective, he probably just assumed he never needed to have that conversation. Because most people don't need to explain that to their kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess the Santa thing is easy compared to how do I tell my son Pin isn't real? Because that's just like a one family kind of, issue to deal with.
Kron, have you found any of these on eBay yet?
Anatomical dummy?
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure you're looking.
I've not been looking.
I was going to look, but in the director's commentary, this was a custom-made $80,000 dummy.
Whoa. Worth every pretty penny they spent.
It was just the one?
Yep, it's a one-off.
So did they shoot the sex scene last then, or were they all having to?
Nah, they wiped his penis down with spick and span.
Okay.
Leon says, I wish Penn could come live with us. Ursula says Dad wouldn't allow it. Besides, Penn is a dummy. Leon is fucking enraged.
Does it say where it is today? Like the Penn doll? No?
No one gives a shit. No one.
I think he's set up looking out of a window, Dan.
Is it?
Somewhere in Canada right now.
Dude, it kind of looks like Maynard James Keenan. Like,
Yep.
sometimes.
When he doesn't have the skin or when he does?
When he doesn't have the skin.
Yeah,
Wow.
when he does have the skin, he looks like Maynard's vibe on that last Pussifer album, on that COVID album.
Or Captain America guy, Chris Evans. Just like a dumb version of it. Maybe it's the hair.
All right, Leon, he just slaps the shit out of his sister here.
So good.
This catches the attention from the mom, who opens the door and finds the porno mag.
Well, it's because that porno mag is dirty. That's a dirty magazine. Her clean senses are tingling.
Mhm.
There's something dirty in this house.
She knew.
Yeah.
Leon fucking slaps her in the eye, and it is very funny. And he was revved up with a backhand before the mom came in. He was going in for seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Great slaps all around here in this pin.
And the movie does a pretty good job of making you like Ursula.
Yeah, Ursula seems like chill. She's clearly already figured out Penn isn't real. She's progressive.
Yeah. It plays into that, girls mature faster sort of element. She's never like directly hurtful to him, even though she obviously knows he's a dummy. She could call him fucking stupid and like get over it and ruin the allure for him, but
Arguably should have.
yeah. Yes.
We cut over to the next day. Dr. Frank has the kids talking to Penn. Penn is telling up that they're growing up. Their bodies are changing. Tells them that at some point they're going to get what he refers to as the need, which is something that all people get if they're normal, which makes you desire other people.
I think my need is high octane.
I'm not old enough yet.
Oh, fuck. That's another hour, Chris.
You're not getting the need, dude?
No.
Dang.
Every year I wait for it.
I got some, I need to send you some materials, I think.
Mm-hmm. We'll send you some Hustler trading cards.
Some Hustler trading cards, yeah.
You can flip through.
Do you have that Sylvester Stallone Playgirl?
Not yet.
I'll trade it for a pin.
Pin's worth $80,000.
Probably even more now.
How bad you want to see the stallion?
Fair.
Let's see. He tells Leon, hey, go take that towel off Pin's lap. Let's see what Pin's working with. Leon's like, I don't want to do that. Ursula's like, quit being such a baby. She runs over, rips that towel right off, has a good chuckle.
What
Later, the kid.
is the penis see-through?
It's got to be.
I think it's probably, like showing the muscle and the veins and shit. It'd be weird if just that part was fleshy.
It's just a fucking raging hard.
Just like a perfect purple tint.
Later, the kids are playing outside. Leon says something like, well, that was very informative. Ursula says she already knew about all that stuff. Ask Leon if he ever feels the need. He says I'm not old enough yet. Kind of like Chris just did moments ago.
Yeah. I relate a lot to Leon.
Ursula says, me neither, but I think I'm really going to enjoy it when I do. We get a fade to white here that takes us several years into the future. Guys, ratings on Pin part 1 out of 3, 5 out of 5.
7.
Oh yeah. Bones is keeping it a mystery, I suppose. We do cut to several years in the future. Kids are all grown up. They're at school. Leon sees some kids writing graffiti on some lockers. He goes over and looks at what it is. It says, if you're looking for an easy screw, Ursula will do. Shit.
Anybody recognize Ursula? Older Ursula.
Yeah, she's in Pin from 1988, directed by Sandor Stern.
Fucking nailed it.
She's also in another movie from 1988. She's the love interest in The Brain, which we covered.
Whoa. She's the brain chick?
Yeah.
The one who's fighting Big Sodium?
Mm-hmm.
Our hero. She's a hero.
Oh, damn. She's also in If Looks Could Kill with Richard Grieco.
Tom Clancy's Jack Ryan with that guy.
With Cruz?
No, the
Krasinski?
yeah.
That's recent. She's still working.
Oh, are you looking on the IMDb?
Yeah, because I think I've only seen her in this. I've seen The Brain, but I don't fucking remember anything about that. She's also in like a made-for-TV trilogy starring Christopher Reeves and Tony Todd. Seen that, but
Okay. Yeah, her TV stuff. I'm looking at Letterboxd. She's in the 2013 Carrie.
I've seen that. Don't remember anything about it.
Same. Leon goes to find Ursula. She's banging some dude in the back of a car. He pulls this guy out and repeatedly kicks him in the boner.
Get your damn hands off her.
Kill you.
He tells Ursula, you gotta stop or I'm not your brother anymore. Or some shit like that, I guess.
How many times have you done it?
Yeah. Back at the house, Ursula finds Leon. She says, I think I'm pregnant. It's been 2 months, no period. Leon says,
what's a period?
What?
Yeah, Leon should have asked what's a period.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if he doesn't know anything yet, that should be foreign to him.
He knows. He just doesn't have the need.
Oh, he's not ready for his period. He's not old enough.
Why would she even tell him this shit? I guess because he's her brother, I guess.
So
who else are you going to tell?
we were talking about this pre-record. This is based on a book, and where they diverge, the movie and the book, is that Ursula is also a fucking weirdo in the book, which kind of makes this sort of thing make more sense. Like, they have these really weird conversations. They're constantly naked around each other. But in this, it's like, why does she tell him? Because she obviously has other friends that she could talk to, and not her weird puppet brother.
I think maybe I need to read this book.
Mm-hmm. Is it still like I mean, is it like this movie besides that? It's definitely just like the dude is obsessed with an anatomical dummy.
So it is told completely from his perspective, and I would say that that's like the major change, but that changes a lot of the movie of having her also be a fucking weirdo. But what Sandor Stern was talking about in the documentary is he wanted to make this movie about how two people raised in the same environment could end up completely different. So I guess kind of the theme and thesis of the movie and the book are quite a bit different.
So the thesis of the book is like, look at these fucking weirdos.
Kind of, yeah.
All right, she tells her brother she's pregnant, she thinks she is. It's been 2 months, no period. Leon says, I thought you were going to stop. Ursula says, I did. Count the weeks. It's before I made that promise, idiot. Leon says, you got to tell Dad. Find out if you're really pregnant or not.
Like, you want me to stop? You haven't felt this, dude.
We've already established he can't count backwards, so...
That's a good point. He never got subtraction down. Ursula says she can't do it.
Well,
Leon
yeah,
says,
a week is 7 days, so that's his fucking kryptonite.
that's a good point.
What the
Fuck.
He started at 100 and somehow wound up at like 81.
You couldn't figure that out. You know what Pin said to me today? Shut up.
Ursula, you've been pregnant for 6 years. You know, like
Leon says, hey, I got an idea. Let's go ask Pin. Ursula says, you know, he won't talk to us when Dad isn't around. And then I wrote, these dipshits never figured it out.
Well, she starts down that path and he gets fucking pissed. And then she backpedals like, no, he won't talk to us when Dad's not around, but he's about to fucking slap her in the eye again.
Cut over to the meeting with Pin. Leon says, we admire your adherence to Father's rules. But Ursula has an important decision to make. She might be pregnant. I think she should see a doctor. We'll do whatever you tell us to, Pin. These two are just about to leave, but Pin says, Leon's right. You need to talk to the doctor. Ursula leaves, but Pin says, you and I, we've got a lot to talk about, Leon. Whoa. What'd you guys think? Did you think Pin was real?
I said he's going down Daddy's path, just not with the doctor thing.
Yeah,
Talking to puppets.
I guess if you take the medical degree away from it, it's a lot sadder.
Is it?
I don't know. Yeah. At a certain point, it starts coming back around to being more sad.
Yeah, I'll say if I can put myself in the mindset of watching this for the first time, I wasn't sure of like, is he alive? Is he not? Until, I don't know, 3/4 of the way. They give you hints, but they always do things to like make you question those hints.
Mm-hmm. I mean, for a movie that is trying to convince you that a dummy might be real, I think it does a pretty good job of like keeping that tension up.
Yeah, I'll agree. I'll agree with that.
And personally, I just feel really bad for Leon and Ursula by this point.
Yeah.
So I don't really start. I mean, I eventually come around to like, this is obviously a problem and it needs to be dealt with. But at this point, I still feel sad for him.
Mm-hmm. Leon goes outside. Ursula says, when did you learn how to do that? Leon says, do what? Next day, everyone's at Dr. Frank's office. They're checking up on Ursula. He's kind of like, hey, Leon, you going to stick around for this part? Leon's like, I don't think I can. And Dr. Frank gives Ursula an abortion.
And it's her right.
You probably shouldn't get it from your dad, though, right?
Yeah, that's super weird.
It is
Your dad-
really
your-
fucking weird.
Your dad who has an anatomical dummy in the room that he talks to?
That Pen's watching too. I mean,
I think we can all agree you should not get your abortion from Dr. Frank.
do you think Penn was like, hey, Dr. Frank, you think you could do the same for the nurse? I'm
She's
scared over here.
She's growing a plastic baby in her body right now.
That's the sequel, man.
She's like a Mardi Gras cake.
I mean, I'll say that one of the strengths of this movie is being very, like, unnerving and uncomfortable without ever being explicit. It is very good at that.
Was this a TV movie? Or did this get theatrical?
I mean, does the Philippines count as theatrical?
Hell yeah, sure fucking does, dude.
On this podcast.
No, it didn't.
Well, it did some screenings from what I read, from Manhattan and San Francisco, but
Yeah.
I think New World decided at the last minute, instead of doing theatrical, they were just going to do direct to video.
Yeah, it was made with the intention of going to theaters, but then New World was like going bankrupt, and those like few screenings didn't do well. So this was released on video like 2 years after they actually filmed it.
Yeah, because if you look at the release dates, it's all weird. Some are in 89, some are in 88.
Because it does kind of have a feel of like a made-for-TV thing. Like you were saying, it's never explicit or like, violent in a way. It's just kind of, it's like weird, but it's never...
It's got boobs.
Yeah, it does have boobs. I guess you
You
could
cut that out though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that is kind of a thing with, I can see that because made for TV movies, like, since they couldn't show anything for it, they would make up for it with like just having the most ludicrous premise. And so this definitely has that feel of like, we can't show blood, we can't curse. So what's the craziest idea you can come up with?
You might just be connecting to the Canada of it all as well.
Yeah.
Like it's just a hair off, It's it's pretty effective in its intention of being creepy through dialogue and action. Like and to its credit, no scene goes on very long. It's not very wordy. Like by this point in the movie, you've gotten a lot of like background and build up. I think the problem is the latter half of the movie when nothing happens. But
All right, we get some passage of time shots here. Leon is becoming more and more obsessed with Penn. He's talking to him. There's a really funny shot of him like studying math with Penn where he's holding the book up in front of him.
It was a good montage.
Dr. Frank tells Leon, hey, dude, you got to go to college. You can't stay here. Like, you need to get out of this town. I feel like the dad is already like, you're fucking weird, dude. Like, you need to go somewhere else, see the world. Dr. Frank and his wife, they're leaving for a symposium. I don't think she's a maid on her off time. They're going out together. On the road, his wife
she's
says,
cleaning
hey,
up the function afterwards. She signed up. instead of bringing something to the potluck.
Listen,
She
we
signed
don't
up
know
to-
that. We don't know she's not a maid when she's out of the house.
That's her avocation. Her vocation is mother.
Mm-hmm.
He's a doctor. She doesn't need to clean shit.
She does it because she loves it, dude. You see all that fucking plastic and shit on their sofas?
That's what I told my mom too. I was like, Mom, you do it because you love it.
While they're on the road, his wife says, "Hey, you forgot all your like medical books and shit that you were gonna present on." Dr. Frank is like, "Oh fuck." And he turns around the car, heads back to the office. When do you know it? He finds Leon talking to Pin. Frank's like, "What the hell? This dummy's talking to my son?" He loads up Pin in the car, tells his wife, "I'm just going to give this thing to the society as a teaching aid." He hauls ass over to the symposium.
He tells Leon that he doesn't want the mother to see Leon there.
Mhm.
You mean the maid?
No, I know she's a mother first and foremost. So that implies that maybe the mother that's a speak better, Bones. The mother might have an issue with maybe how far Doc's gone with Pin, right?
Yeah, I didn't see it that way, but that's a good point.
Like-
She doesn't even want to touch it.
Mhm. Yeah, she hates Pin.
And then also after Leon leaves and Terry O'Quinn's just in there with Penn, he looks at it for quite a while, like, and that's one of those things where it's like if you're watching it for the first time, he seems
Yeah.
confused, like, was Leon doing that or is this fucking thing actually alive?
Yeah. That's the way I took it when I was watching it. Like, he sees Leon talking to Pin and Pin talking back. And I think there's part of him that's like, holy fuck. That dummy can actually speak.
What have you been hiding from me this whole time, Pin?
Well, I fucked your nurse, first and foremost.
You misdiagnosed 18 people last week.
I've been fucking all your nurses for years.
I mean, how terrified would you be knowing that you've raised the little Jeff Dunham?
Dude's
the worst
raking it
fate.
in.
Yeah, but it's the worst. You would not be proud.
Yeah.
I would lean back in my chair, think about closing my practice. This dude with his fucking racist puppets is going to bankroll me for the rest of my life.
I painted another pepper for you.
Doc hauls ass over to the symposium in the
Saving all your
backseat.
popsicle sticks and shit.
In the back seat. Pin
Some of those
sets up.
popsicle sticks even come with jokes on them, buddy. Sorry.
Pin sets up. Dr. Frank says, "Don't worry about it. It's just the curves." Dr. Frank, he keeps looking in the rearview mirror at Pin. His wife yells, "Look out." He slams on the brakes. They're coming up to the road just ends. Pin lurches forward, attacking Dr. Frank. The car goes flying off of a cliff. Back home, these kids, they're chilling out after at the house after the funeral. They start joking around that Mom's probably vacuuming heaven right now, telling God to take off his shoes because she was such a good maid in her years on Earth.
These kids really don't seem bothered by the death of both of their parents.
Would you be if those were your parents?
I mean,
Yeah, your dad's a weird puppet freak. Your mom's a maid. I mean, what kind of life is this?
well, I'm a puppet freak.
You're rich now? Yeah, you got the
Well, yeah.
puppet all to yourself?
Yeah, he even makes a comment later on, "Oh, he left us the inheritance. We're fine."
We're going to eat fried chicken and pizza for the rest of our lives.
And not clean up after dinner, you motherfuckers.
These two do start going wild. They're pulling all the plastic off the furniture. They order up a bunch of pizza pies for dinner. That night, Ursula wakes up. She hears talking. She goes and finds a Leon with Pin in his room. He's got Pin wearing a suit. Ursula's pissed. She says, "You know Dad never wanted him in the house." Leon says he's family. If we didn't take him in, he'd be stuck in a closet somewhere. Or killed.
I hate that we didn't get a sequence of the paramedics trying to resuscitate Pin.
Or him like really upset. Like,
Yeah.
Save him! Save him!
Oh my God, this patient's been flayed.
My dad is gone. Work on the dummy.
What's it called when your whole body gets degloved?
Oh, like the paramedics think his skin flew off.
That's what I meant by
accident.
that he's been flayed. Yeah.
Yeah, imagine their surprise when they showed up. Like, holy shit!
Well, you never know. Like if the doctor had like a head concussion and he was like trying to talk, maybe he reverted to the like throwing his voice. So he's sitting there yelling, "Help me!" but it's coming out of Pin. These
Right.
poor medics.
Beaten.
That's and that's why you don't get involved in shit like this. You know, let these episodes be a cautionary tale to you, listener.
Do you think Pin knows resuscitation, Annie?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Is that the doll that you practice CPR on?
Yeah.
One of them.
One of them, yeah.
There's a lot of them.
She's not anatomically correct, though, right?
Yeah, she got boobs, Bones.
You do. There are different CPR like dummies out there with like enhanced breasts and things to sort of teach you where to place your hand without being inappropriate.
But everybody's inappropriate, right?
That you will not get your license. They see you flicking that little pepperoni and shit, you're done, dude. They'll rip your card up.
What do you mean
Yeah.
they're enhanced? They got like a double D fucking dummy.
Yeah,
You
they
gotta-
have like different boobs that they'll put on. They're kind of like bowling balls. There'll be like a whole wall of them, and depending on like what the instructor's like feeling that day.
I'm gonna throw some double D's in there for these motherfuckers.
Yep. I got these big hands. It was tough for me. Yeah, I was sweating. I was like,
Yeah,
"Please,
that's
let
your
me-
excuse. Oh, God, it's so
please,
tough not to be
please,
inappropriate with
Let me
my,
get some A's."
my huge, manly hands.
I was gonna say, what do you think she had that day?
I'm totally pulling that out of my ass, by the way. I have never seen that.
Hey, you guys aren't leaving all these titties up on the wall, are you?
I got
can't-
to I
I
tell
can't
you,
work like this.
I don't know what the technology is right now, but they have not figured out how to recreate the sensation of giving real CPR on a human being on a piece of plastic that simply clicks.
Yeah, you mean real humans don't have a click in their chest?
Well, if you're doing it right, you'll start to hear some clicks.
Sounds like I did it probably, I don't know, 15 years ago. It sounds like something you train, like Caesar would train a dog with. Like a,
Oh, who doesn't
Right.
love going to a fucking mini mall at 8 a.m. while some nurse who just got off an 18-hour shift is just picking up like,
just fucked an anatomical dummy.
yep, she fucked it on the way in. And then you got to watch the Ken Jeong fucking staying alive CPR video while you sit there and
Is this a real?
Hey, this doll's got a bunch of slime
Yes.
on it. What's that all about?
The comedic actor Ken Jeong actually helped produce a video to explain to people that when giving CPR, you can sing "Staying Alive" to yourself because it's the correct BPM.
And then you start pumping, motherfucker.
Mm-hmm. Then he pulled his little dick out, and everybody laughs. And then they bring the mood out, or they bring the mood down when they bring out the little plastic baby that you got to put on your
Everyone gets real somber.
thigh and slap. Yeah.
I took a criminology class. I don't know if I talked about this before, but she brought in the baby that, like, how much it takes to shake a baby to actually, like, kill it. It's got all the lights, and you got to turn it
Seems like a
red.
weird thing to instruct people on.
Yeah, your thing was knowing how hard to shake a baby to damage its brain?
Well, you have to fucking shake the shit out of it.
No, I bet I'd get every one of those lights so fucking fast, dude.
It's hard as hell. Dudes are like, well, I just pushed them, and they're like, yeah, no.
That was actually the deleted scene from TMNT 2 to get into the Foot Clan after the bell test.
Come on, let me shake the baby. You're too young. Let me shake the baby.
Dan, that was the goal, though, to, like...
Yeah, it's like a game, Kron.
To give a child dummy shaken baby syndrome? Like, that's what you guys did for class?
It's like that punching bag arcade game, you know? Drunk dudes line up and take turns trying to see how hard they can hit.
It's a demonstration of how much it actually takes to shake a baby to death.
I bet Dan was.
And it's a lot more than you think.
It seems like the teacher is saying it's not that easy to kill a baby.
That's what she was saying.
Everybody's blowing this out of proportion. Shake them all you want.
I was tried and
like,
acquitted.
I just shook him a little, and now, like, you gotta whip that motherfucker.
Oh, okay. I got you. I got you.
You were probably like the annoying kid that in high school when you're taking a test that just slams down their pencil to let everyone know they're done. Like, yeah, I fucking killed the baby first.
Killed this baby. Like, what?
Now I understand what you were saying when you're like, the guys just said I just pushed him. Yeah, that is the suspect in the child murder.
Yeah, they only use it in, like, police training. I don't know why. She was a state trooper, so she...
Why do they train police to kill babies?
Know thy enemy, dude.
Excellent question.
Snuff them out young, man.
All right. The next day, Ursula goes to the library and checks out a bunch of books about schizophrenia.
Check your mailboxes here in 2 weeks.
Meanwhile, at home, the kid's aunt comes to live with them to make sure they're doing okay.
Becomes the new fucking ice bucket challenge.
Can anyone beat 1 minute and 35 seconds?
Yeah. Put 10 seconds on the clock. All right. The aunt is like, hey, all this plastic's got to go back on the furniture. This shit's expensive. Ursula says, I got a job at the library, and Leon gets real pissed off and leaves dinner.
Are you finished? Just with dinner.
Leon goes upstairs to discuss this with Penn. Penn says, Aunt Dorothy, she's driving a wedge between you two, and you better do something about it, Leon. Leon goes downstairs and he gives his sister a sleepy time glass of milk. That night we cut to Dorothy in bed. We hear Penn's voice saying, I'm right behind you. Dorothy turns over. She sees Penn. Penn sets up in her bed. She's panicking. Sister can't wake up because she's knocked out.
So we know she's not a nurse.
Mm-hmm. That's correct.
Jury's still out on whether or not she's a maid.
Yeah.
Dorothy's panicking. She has a heart attack and dies. We see Leon move Penn out of the way. Oh, he's behind Penn the whole time.
Okay, how many movies... It's just guaranteed that if you scare someone slightly, they have a heart attack and fucking die?
Dan, did your teacher tell you how hard you got to scare somebody to get them to go into cardiac arrest?
She does say at the funeral, it would be good for my heart to move out here. So that's kind of, I guess, your clue that she has a bad heart.
Yeah. That was, the Quebec Tourism Board's slogan. Good for your heart to move out here.
And that's why Hopkins didn't die in The Edge when they scared him.
Yeah.
He still had a strong ticker.
It's one of my... I want more, I guess, better kills for this movie. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much any scene that is like horror tinged in this movie was not in the book. It was just more weird sex stuff. Like, I can't remember exactly why Aunt Dorothy leaves in the book, but I think it was something along the lines of what he said, like, she'll feel the vibrations. Like, he just iced her out and she decided to leave.
So he wouldn't even talk to her and shit in the house?
Yeah, just like, fuck you.
Well, this is the only murder. This is, right? Well, there's an attempted murder, I guess. Spoiler.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think this is this the only death in the movie?
Yeah.
Well, parents.
But besides the parents who got knocked off in a car accident.
Which you could argue Penn is the cause of.
Mm-hmm.
He did lunge forward.
I don't think the movie is interested in, like, I mean, it kind of leans horror every now and again, but I don't think that's the motivation of this movie either.
No, I agree. I kind of, like, after reading the book and then watching this, I kind of thought, like, that was something that would have been pushed on them by New World.
Yeah.
But apparently the writer and director, Sandor Stern, who adapted it, I think he just added that himself, because if you take out all the weird sex stuff from the book, what do you really have? I think he just wanted to have that horror movie rhythm of, like, every 15 minutes, something has to happen. And it's hard, like, you have an inanimate object as your villain. It's kind of hard to do.
I wonder if there was a decision on how involved Leon is with Penn in the bed. Like, in terms of trying to kind of give him some plausible deniability or a little bit more likability. You know, if he just put it in there to kind of fuck with her, did they test that and feel that out to see? So his attempt later is a little even more shocking versus him directly being a little bit more responsible by throwing the voice and everything else. But I guess if he's not there, you don't get the voice, then you sort of lose that allure of how real is Penn, right? I think I applaud it for not having more murder, like more kills, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Keeps it a little bit more psycho, less Halloween, right?
Well, I think if you leaned into the horror, like, it would take away from some of the weirdness, because then it just turns into, like, a doll is killing people, you know? Whereas this, it is more like, what's this guy's weird, like, sex hang up? And, like, the whole focus of the movie shifts into, like, what is wrong with this guy, rather than, oh, there's just a bunch of murders all the time, you know?
Well, when they remake this, you know, he'll kill a DoorDash driver or some shit, and they'll take some of the sex stuff out because people aren't interested in sex anymore.
Yeah.
I am.
You don't matter, dude.
I think we all are, and we're kind of the old guard of movies, you know?
I'm keeping sex alive, dude.
I'm making sex great again.
JT brought it back. I'm keeping it afloat.
Going.
Yeah.
Jonathan Taylor Thomas? John Travolta brought it back. Yeah. I gotcha.
All right, guys, some paramedics show up. They take Dorothy's husk away the next morning. Leon promptly moves Penn back into his own room.
Those are my favorite Dan bits, by the way. Like the little weird excitement games that he plays with himself. Sorry, were you going to a pee break?
Yeah, it's a pee break.
Seems about right.
All right, welcome back, everybody. If you're just now joining the episode, we are talking pin, and you're going to be very confused about how hard you got to shake a baby, I guess. Hit back 15 a whole bunch of times to find out. All right, Ursula gets home from work. Leon's been making beef Wellington, but he's got a surprise that he wants to show her. He's put...
It's a bull shot.
Oh, shit, dude. Get ready to be disappointed, Ursula. He's made Pin a skin suit. That's the surprise. Somehow, it's creepier with the skin on it, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm glad we can all agree on that.
I can't decide who it looks like. Every time I see it, I'm like, what the fuck?
Do you remember the Eminem Rap God video?
Yes.
Yeah. It has the bombs and shit on it in the back.
Nah, he's kind of doing the fucking Lawnmower Man 2 thing. Kron, you know what I'm talking about? Like,
Don't remind
I remember
That's-
the video.
Okay.
It's a
Yeah.
reference we all get.
he's got like a weirdly smooth face and like some weird fake hair.
Yeah,
I might be completely wrong, but and then when you brought up Maynard earlier, I was like, oh fuck yeah, Maynard in that suit for that Apocalyptico.
Is it the drill, kind of like the drill sergeant army guy?
Who?
I know what you're talking. Yeah, because he has a black suit on. I
Yeah.
gotcha.
Do you
Uh,
now? I like these jumps that he has Pin after the accident, and then he's made him a skin suit.
mhm.
Okay, I kind of want to see the scene of him breaking into fucking the morgue to get Pin out. I want to see him Buffalo Billing a bunch of people to get the skin suit.
You think it's real skin?
Gotta be.
I think it's just like some
It's not.
Play-Doh
It's
or
not,
something.
but-
Gack.
Yeah.
I think you're onto something though there. I think it could be a little crazier. Like the relationship between him and Pin there should be more of it, I think.
I think if it goes crazier at this point, then the final denouement, if you will, to use a word from our French Canadian brothers, doesn't read as an escalation.
Mhm.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Yeah, I mean, I think the question has to come up of like, oh, how's he get this skin? And all the solutions are weirder than you want to go at this point in the movie. So you just show up and he's got skin.
You think that was his first?
All right, over dinner, Ursula understands.
Okay, yeah, all right. What if there's a scenario where he fails triumphantly? Like he puts a bad wig on it and he tries to put like makeup and shit on it first and it creeps Ursula out. So then he's like, you're right. And then a week later, he goes way too far and now he's got the skin.
Or just like a she's all that coming down the staircase.
He's put one of those little old people like lifts on the stairs.
Okay,
so-
that is something they never explain. They never show him going up and down the stairs in a wheelchair with Pin.
Mhm.
The cover of the fucking movie is a staircase, and there's a staircase in the house. That's about it. Nobody
It's,
else is offended by that. Okay.
Okay, if I'm remaking this, the aunt is in a wheelchair. So they install the little seat that takes her up and down. And then after she dies,
Or
he puts Pin in her.
the
heart.
car wreck puts the dad in a wheelchair, since he's imprinted the dad, sort of his personality, on Pin.
And when he finally dies, Leon just replaces Pin for the dad. And Ursula's even more creeped out.
That's fucking good. Copyright.
Okay.
5 Day Rentals.
Copyright. Somebody get New World on the phone.
Have we talked about the voice of Pin? Did you guys look that up?
It's some dude from Breaking Bad, right?
Breaking Brad, you mean?
Oh, yes. Breaking
he has-
Bad.
He hasn't heard that episode.
He hasn't heard that episode yet.
I know.
Look at my yes and, though.
Beautiful.
Mhm.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's what the fuck is his name in the show?
Mike Ehrmantraut,
Yeah.
Jonathan Banks.
Whoa, he does the Pin voice?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Which
That's
I haven't
crazy.
seen that show, but I think I've seen him in other things. And doesn't he have like a super deep, gravelly voice?
Yeah. he's
Like
in
as
season
his
5
normal
of
voice?
Community. Yeah. I would have loved if he did a line read like, "Look at my wiener, Leon. Look at my plastic penis, Walter."
Over dinner, Ursula is understandably
Quit
like,
half measuring my plastic penis, Walter.
Why would
No
why would
half
that even
measures.
be in the conversation? Like what happened before that to where he's like, "Look at my plastic wiener, Walter."
That's the meshing of the bit, man. I'm
Mhm.
mashing Mike and Pin. Look at my penis, Walter.
Just as people get thirsty for meth, they also get thirsty for sex.
people have the need, Walter. All right, over dinner, Ursula understandably is like, "Hey, dude, this shit is fucking weird. Pin shouldn't have fake skin and live in the house and wear dad suits." Leon's pissed. He tells her she better apologize. She can't realize that there are 3 people living in this house. Maybe she should pack her bags. But Leon does soften here. He says, "Okay, I'll talk to Pin, but you gotta start being nicer to him."
I see
Next
both
day.
sides.
She is being rude to Pin. I mean, just,
Yeah.
he's right there, and she's openly talking about him. Next day at the library, some guy who's very clearly into Ursula comes in.
Wouldn't
He's
you
trying
be?
real hard. What?
I said, wouldn't you be?
Into Ursula?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm into
Oh,
Ursula,
man.
dude.
God damn.
She's a babe.
From this point,
Mhm.
like, probably when she starts dating this guy, they get her makeup, like, they get her colors down, like the tones that they use on her lipstick.
Well, they
man,
probably
it's-
learned something by, making that doll look real.
Yeah.
Can you give me that shade?
But the scene where he's cutting wood and she's talking to him before she goes to work. My God,
I mean, yeah.
beautiful.
You can tell he's attracted to his sister.
All right, this guy's trying. He's like,
Especially
"Hey, where's?"
spending all the naked times in the book.
Mm-hmm.
Gets
What are
so
they
much
doing?
darker. It gets so much darker.
He knows
What are
she
they
gets
doing?
down.
Well, the thing
they-
is
Are they banging in the book?
I really don't know how to answer that with like being delicate about very serious subjects. I would rather
Okay.
not answer that.
Okay.
But yeah, no, the other thing is that they just are very blasé about sex because of the way their father taught them about it. So another thing, like, Leon is not like a weird virgin. So one of the things they do in the book is like Leon's out there slaying some strange wool. and they like come home from their dates and exchange like war stories. Like, yeah, I did this with this guy, or I did this with this girl. So it is quite a bit weirder than what's on screen.
I gotta
We should
read
get
this
his
fucking
book.
book.
5DR
Right.
Book Club.
Mm-hmm. We're only gonna do Pin. That's it.
It'd be one episode a year for me.
All of
this
them
guy-
Pin.
Yeah.
No, it'd take me that fucking long to read it.
Chris read it in 3 days.
I almost fell asleep reading the plot synopsis for Back to the Future.
I could see that.
It's a boring ass movie.
This guy's like, hey, where's the foreign language section? Do you know what time it is? And this chick's blowing him off. She's like, clock's back there. Books are over there. She's not interested. But that evening, she tells Leon, hey, do you remember Stan Fraker? He's in college now. He comes into the library like 3 times a week. I think he's interested in more than just books.
I love her description of he has brown hair, hazel eyes, and he's kind of athletic. Oh. Okay. Yeah, Stan Fraker. Yeah.
Oh, that guy.
Really into time.
Mm-hmm. Leon asks, what are you...
He's always asking for this like author, like Andrew Niedermeyer or something.
Oh, that would have been a fun little touch in the movie if he checked out the Pin book.
Some for the OGs.
Mm-hmm. Leon says, what are you going to do if he asks you out? He says, you've not been with anybody since the abortion. Don't you get the need anymore? Weird.
She should have like looked over at Pin, like real slow,
Mm-hmm.
and then back to him.
What if she was like, yeah, I get the need. The need for speed. And they just high-fived.
And not just a regular high five. They also meet at the bottom because they're that connected.
Leon does like a...
We cut to...
I don't like Penn in the house because he's dangerous.
He just got the jet helmet on.
He buzzed the tower on the way home.
What's his call sign?
Mr. Platastic.
Dummy.
Stiff.
Oh, Stiff's good. All right, we cut to tomorrow. Leon runs into Stan and Ursula. They're out on a walk together. She says, hey, I'm going out tonight with Stan. After the date's done, Ursula gets home. Leon steps out of the shadows. Ursula says, you scared me. I thought you were Pin.
Oh shit, is this where he's like, but I brought the steaks out of the freezer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's like, just save them for tomorrow.
Is there anything in the book, Chris, about his obsession with food? And
Yeah.
what is it? I have no real theory or anything on what. Is it a caretaker thing? Is it, because if he was cleaning, I would say, oh, Pin is his father, the cleaning is the mother, but we don't really get anything about the mother being obsessed with cooking.
So they don't really talk about that too much. Like, he does cook in the book. I think it's partially just like he doesn't have a fucking job, spends a lot of time at home, so what else is he doing? But also, I think they don't ever say anything about this, but just, the movie and the book, it's kind of a way of like control, because if you cook dinner for someone, then you can say, why the fuck weren't you here? If your intention is to have control over someone.
It seems like in the movie, they literally just needed a thing for him to do. Like, he has to be doing something at the house all the time besides talking to Pin.
Yeah.
So,
And cooking is more cinematic than writing incest porn.
Yeah. Chris, in our remake, should he be developing an app? I mean, I want to make it pertinent, like, to today's time, but I also wanna make it
Cooking's always
timeless.
relevant.
Not with Factor meals. Dan, tell everybody at home about Factor.
Factor. If you're busy, job, school, children, pets, jobs, Factor is there for you. Order it right up. It's at your doorstep. Throw it in the microwave. Nutrition right at your doorstep. You can't beat it.
That's right,
Factor.
Dan. And I got to tell you, I have enjoyed every Factor meal, but my wife, she's a little picky. And what I love about the Factor app, I might be able to go in there and I might be able to say, no, we don't need 2 of the tikka masalas. And you know what? You can do a weekly chef's choice where you get a nice little surprise, or you can double up on something that you do love. Me, I love the Salisbury steak and the sweet mashed potatoes.
What about those of us that have special dietary needs?
well, lucky for you, Chris, whether you're keto or paleo or vegan or vegetarian, Factor's got you covered.
If you want to drop a few lbs, yeah, throw on the vegan option for the week.
They give us no money. Why are we doing this?
Kron, you're supposed to say the promo code.
Make sure to enter 5DR when you visit Factor.com for a free meal. There you go. Punch the code in.
I will say the mahi mahi is great.
All right, Ursula
Kron,
says
the
I had
whole point is this is to show these guys that we can do this.
Yeah, dress for the job you want.
Mm-hmm.
Ursula says I had a great night. Stan's a nice guy. I told him about your poetry. Leon goes, I know my poetry's private. Do not fucking talk about that.
Because, oh yeah, instead of going to college, he wants to write an epic poem in the vein of Beowulf.
Mm-hmm. And boy, does he. Because we're going to hear some stanzas from it later in this movie. Next day, Leon, he sets up a date with a lady on his own. Pin asks, why are you doing this? Leon says, I got the need. You don't think I have the need? Pin says, you only have the need because your sister has the need for Stan. Over on Leon's date, this chick is just trying to get anything going. She's like kissing all over his neck at the movie theater. Leon seems
Personally, I'm on his side. Like, trying to watch Scanners. Please, could you please?
This is Vegas Vacation, all right? So if you could pay a little attention to the film.
The first 15 minutes are the most important. If you don't pay attention then, you're not going to understand anything that happens afterwards.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. He does end up bringing this chick back to his place. She starts getting undressed. But Leon, he can't go through with it. He's like, I'm worried Pin might come in. This chick's pissed. She's like, who the fuck is Pin? I'm trying to bone down. What are we doing here?
She's like, call him in. I'm into that. He's like,
My
what
mom
are
was
you,
a
nurse?
He eventually leaves the room. She kind of gets dressed, follows him out. She's looking for her jacket. While she's looking around the house for it, Pin starts chasing her around in an electric wheelchair. He eventually gets her trapped up against a door.
And they set that up though, because he's got a RC car when he's younger that he's working on periodically and messing around with. So he has some electronic aptitude.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's not just a great chef and a beautiful poet. He's also like a tech guy.
He's the Ben Franklin of our time.
Real Renaissance man.
Mm-hmm.
It was pretty depressing when he went and bought that, and some old lady like actually needed it, and he's just using it for this fucking dummy. It's pretty sad.
Shut up, you old bag. My puppet needs this chair.
I was here first.
This lady's screaming. She keeps trying to get Leon to help her. Just when it all seems lost, Ursula comes home. She opens the door and comforts this lady.
Terry O'Quinn, that's a 360, Kron.
She says it's just an electric toy. Don't worry about it.
Anybody know Terry O'Quinn's character's name in Lost? Tick, tick,
It'd
tick,
come to
tick,
me.
tick.
Dr. Frank L. Linden.
Locke?
Yeah, Bones got it. John
Bones got
Locke.
it. That's the only one I remember.
You don't remember Kate, Sawyer, Jack,
Oh, Sawyer. That's
Penny?
Hurley.
Hurley.
Desmond?
I had a dog named after that character, and I don't even remember that.
Mr. something. Echo. Mr. Echo.
Mr. Echo, yeah. Jim.
These all
Dan.
sound made up.
Chris, you never seen Lost?
No.
Good for you.
Yeah. It sucks.
You got time for that shit.
Next morning's a bit awkward. Leon's says he talked to Pin. They agreed they were being a little too hard on Stan. They'd like to invite him over for dinner. Ursula says, how about instead we go out? Says, you don't like my cooking? I don't think Stan's ready to meet Pin. Well, he's gonna have to meet him eventually. Stan arrives to the house for dinner. He's brought chocolates. Leon grabs them and is like, Pin loves chocolate. How did you know? Leon tells Ursula to go check the food. Stan needs to meet Pin right now. He introduces the two. Stan tries to play along. He's like, great to meet you. I've heard so much about you. Over dinner, Leon, he's just picking at his food.
You're
Stan
out,
says-
right? At this point, like, you're like, yeah.
Ursula, though,
Her makeup is on point, dude.
I've
He
put
tried.
up with more for less.
Yeah. And I'll give it to him. Like, he's going to confront her pretty quick about it.
Mm-hmm. Over dinner, Leon is picking at his food. Stan says, this is an excellent meal. Like, you could easily be a chef. He also tells him, I'd love to hear some of your poetry later. After dinner, Leon gives a preface that he's written a poem, but a guy who bangs any chick that he finds. And currently in the story, he's contemplating rape for the first time.
He's fathered, like, what, 117 kids or something?
Yeah.
Something crazy. And I will say that the stanzas of this poem are the only part of the book that is a direct quote. If that gives you any idea.
We gotta get this book, man. This shit sounds insane.
I was going to actually ask you if his poetry was throughout the book, kind of like, what's the pirate story that's throughout Watchmen?
The Black Frigate?
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
Yeah. What,
No.
like, does
so
each
there is
chapter
one...
open up with a stanza from his poem?
That'd be pretty cool. But no, there is one more before this. So he doesn't, like, immediately go into the incest porn.
Okay. Because we could fill this out. We could actually write this epic tale, and we could maybe have it animated. Little
Yeah.
Inserts in our director's cut.
Like a little interstitial, you know?
Yeah.
All right, Leon gets on with his poem. It ends with something about like a bloody castration and looking into his sister's eyes. It's real weird. Leon puts Pin upstairs. He's so jazzed up in this scene. He's like, Stan is fucking cool, dude. He likes my food. He likes my cool poems. And Pin just tells him
he's got an athletic build, brown hair, hazel
Hazel
eyes.
Pin says, be careful. Leon comes downstairs. He can hear Ursula and Stan talking. Stan says, you got to get this guy committed. He's fucking nuts. He thinks Pin is real. Doesn't he just know that he's doing ventriloquism?
Wait, what?
Ursula says, I can't do that. He can just live here. He'll be safe. He can do his poetry. Stan says the poetry is weirder than the doll. Didn't you hear that poem? It's about a guy who wants to rape his sister.
Well, have you fucking seen me, Stan?
Sure, I'm not a athletic build type with hazel eyes, but I've certainly got a lot to offer. Leon makes a little noise. The two, they scramble. Ursula's like, do you want another drink, Stan? Very loudly. Leon just says, I'm tired. I'm going to go to sleep for the night.
We're still feeling bad for Leon at this point, right?
I think I feel bad throughout most of the movie.
Bones is shaking his head no.
No, I think the performance is pretty good. I think he does a pretty good job of conveying a mental disorder without a fanatic level characterism, or caricature.
I'm just happy it's stuck.
I would say by this point, the writing's kind of on the wall, and I'm no longer feeling bad for him. I'm 100% just concerned for Ursula. So I think he's sort of beyond saving, unfortunately.
Ursula tells Stan she knows what's going on. She's read every book in the library about mental health. Leon is clearly a paranoid schizophrenic, but she just can't bear to put him away. Upstairs, Pin tells Leon, I told you to be careful. This guy's tearing the family apart, and you better do something about it.
I told you, Walter.
He's stealing your meth, Walter. Next morning, Leon calls Stan. Says, I need help planning Ursula's surprise birthday party. Why don't you come over here? Stan says, great, I'll be there in an hour. He arrives at the house. Leon makes him a drink, puts a little bit of that sleeping powder in it. Over at her job, Ursula's boss is like, you fucking moron. You're making a bunch of noise in the library. I can tell you're clearly in love. Take the rest of the day off.
You got the need, honey, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
No job you've ever had is giving you the day off because you were in love?
They've given me the day off because I clearly got the need. And they, to their credit, asked me to never come back again.
Well, you were knocking over everything at counter height.
Mm-hmm. Bunch of Fabergé eggs smashed to pieces.
God forbid you spun around quick.
Oh, God, I'm sorry, supervisor. I just want to fuck so bad.
I got the need.
Yeah, you hadn't learned the belt tuck yet.
Mm-hmm. Well, and they were like, can't you do anything about that? And then it really confused them when I was like, well, my puppet at home, he gets mad if I do that kind of stuff.
I remember having to come over to your house, throw my voice through your puppet to explain how to tuck your boner up behind your belt when you're in public.
Yeah.
And then I got on there and I just messed with you.
Yeah.
You kept flicking the puppet's boner like a damn doorstop.
How else was I going to learn?
Gotcha.
All right, back at the house, Leon's telling Stan, Ursula's worth like $700,000 easy. But sometimes Ursula forgets who her real
Canadian.
friends are. Yeah, that's like, it's only like 300,000 USD. He says sometimes Ursula forgets who her real friends are. Are you tired, Stan? Leon says maybe you're tired from all the energy you used plotting against me and Pin. Stan stands up. He's all wobbly. He falls over. Pin says, you got to get him. Get him, Leon. Leon wrestles Stan to the ground, ends up smashing his head with a statue.
Not so athletic build now, are you?
Life went out of those hazel eyes.
Mm-hmm. Leon says, great job, Pin. You told me 200 milligrams would put him out. Pin says, you didn't give it enough time. You freaked him out. You started saying all that weird shit.
One thing that's I just thought of this from the book is that when Leon meets Stan for the first time, he notices that Stan is like an inch taller than him, which I feel like is just such great shorthand for like an inferiority or like, man, fuck this guy. Because when you're kind of tall and someone's just like an inch taller than you, you're like, fuck this guy. No one, just me.
No, every time I'm in a room with Bones, dude.
I'm 6'2", so anybody taller than me, I'm like, I'm gonna have to fight this fucking
dude.
guy. I'm gonna have to fight this guy.
You're an inch taller than me.
Sorry.
Fuck you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, slouch down, Bones.
I'm a Tasmanian devil. I'll kill everybody in that room.
Pin starts telling Leon, didn't you learn anything from your mom? Get a bag, put the body in the bag, take it to the river, and clean up the blood.
Vacuum.
What was the mom taking down to the river?
Bodies.
God,
He was
damn.
a doctor. There had to be some patients that died, right?
Plus, she was a maid, so probably just like a bunch of garbage and shit she chucked in the river. It was different in 88, dude.
Yeah. Has there ever been like a weird, low-key sort of thriller about like a lady who disposed of bodies and they called her the maid? Like is that a good starting off point of like
Sunshine cleaning?
Kinda, but maybe you set it like in the John Wick universe, because they show those cleaner guys in the first one that show up, clean up his house.
Call the maid.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Give her this gold coin for some reason.
Yep. She just comes in and slaps all the kids.
Just then Ursula calls and says, hey, I'm coming home. Pin says, you're running out of time. Just go hide him in the fucking wood pile, moron. And then clean up all this blood. Ursula leaves work. She does some shopping. Swings by Stan's place, but he's not there. Heads home.
It would take a lot of work to hide a body in a fucking wood pile.
You just move some of the wood out. Chuck him back there.
When you got the need, you can chop some fucking wood.
I guess, but I feel like you could have ran him out to the edge of the property, and
I think the key is to like build your wood pile where it already has a little cavity for a body to go into.
Yeah, this dude hasn't shot ropes in years. So, yeah, he's got some energy.
I don't think he's ever shot ropes the way this movie is presented.
I think he's had a wet dream, Kron.
But if a rope shoots in the bed and there's no one awake to hear it,
does it leave a stain?
Let's see. She gets home. Leon says, "Hey, Stan called. Said he had to cancel
It's
your
so
date."
comforting that there's other people in the world that are as fucked up as us, Chris. Thanks, man.
Hey, you guys, shoot an email to Andrew Niederman. He's pretty fucked up.
I don't know if it'd be an email so much as like a letter, a letter that we send him where we've cut it all out of magazines.
A manifesto.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, he says, Stan had to cancel your date. Something about a sick friend. Ursula tries to call Stan. No answer. Leon says, I got a pot roast going with carrots, potatoes, big giant cake that I made for dessert. But over dinner, Leon is acting insane. He's all jittery.
Reminds me of Thursday nights. Remember Thursdays? We'd always podcast.
Uh-huh. What?
Yeah, that's what we're doing.
Yeah.
Here.
Yeah, no. That's what he says. It's what he says in the movie. The mom always made pot roast on Thursdays.
That would
Ursula-
suck, right?
I don't want a pot
I don't
roast
know,
on
dude.
Thursday. Yeah, I don't want to be all fucking bloated and shit on Friday.
I could do meatloaf once a week.
Really?
Hell yeah, dude. It's fucking good as hell.
God damn it.
I mean, I like meatloaf, but pot roast is like an echelon above.
Yeah.
See, it's too fancy for me. I'm a meatloaf guy, you know?
Well, I don't think we've talked about it, but these people are very clearly Brewster's Millions.
Mm-hmm.
They're slumming it up when they're doing pot roast.
They're at least Brewster's 700,000 Canadian dollars. Let's see. Ursula, she starts hearing this little beep, beep, beep from Stan's digital watch.
I just want to back up because this is like them having dinner is the most heartbreaking scene of the movie. You know, Leon's like reminiscing of like, yeah, you know, mom's always cleaning and doing her bullshit. And Ursula kind of claps back like, all I remember is having a very clean house and loving parents, and just great piece of acting from David Hewlett of like, that was not my experience. Like, you know, she says something about, you know, father asking us math problems and me getting a kiss. No, even if I got it wrong. And it's like, I didn't fucking get that. Like, I have nothing but resentment for our parents. It's very sad.
I mean, I think it is just kind of like you were talking about with the movie versus the book. Like, they clearly had different interpretations of what their childhood was like. Like, she came out pretty normal, and he is obviously far from that.
Is it not? Is it not normal to have a puppet?
I was going to say, there is a...
You're asking the wrong guys that question, dude.
I mean, you were all right till you put the skin on it.
I don't know. If some guy's hanging out with a anatomical dummy all day, I'd be a little concerned.
I mean, we got Lars and the real girl, right? Falls in love with the sex doll. He did all right. He did all right.
Because the town was behind him.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, you just got to find the right town. In Canada.
Move out of this shitty town you're in and go somewhere that's open to man puppet love.
I mean, Joaquin Phoenix fell in love with Scarlett Johansson's voice. Yeah.
All right, she thinks Stan is somewhere in the house. Eventually, she finds the blood stain in the broken statue, asks Leon what he's done. Leon says it was Pin. Pin did it. I wasn't even here when it happened. Ursula storms.
Sells his ass out quick.
Yeah, he turns on Pin. Ursula storms off. Leon turns toward Pin and he's like, "Hey, dude, why didn't you fucking help me back there?" Pin says, "I never lied to you or for you. I don't know how, Pin says, "I don't know how to lie, and neither do you, which is why you're so bad at it." Leon drops down to his knees, says, "What am I going to do? We did it for Ursula." Pin says, "We didn't do it for Ursula, we did it for you." Just then, Ursula runs in with the wood axe. She takes a swing at Leon. Cut to the cops at the house. They've uncovered Stan. Cops say, "Jesus, this kid's still alive." Again, we jump forward in time. Stan drives Ursula back to the house. She goes upstairs, where they do have a real maid now. I would like to point out.
No, that's the mom.
Nurse.
She survived.
No, she's folding sheets and she's got like a white apron on and shit.
It's a cook.
That's what the twist of the movie is. The mom was alive the whole time.
Shit. We gotta start fucking Pin over, dude.
Dude, it's so fucked up that you've called your mom your maid this whole time.
She cooks and cleans. Ursula goes upstairs. Pin is looking out a window. She says, "Hello, Pin. Stan and I are going up to Cape Cod for a week. Do you want anything?"
Watch out for sharks.
Pin says, "Wind the music box for me." Ursula does. Pin says, "Have you heard anything from Leon?" She says, "No." Pin says, "I miss him a great deal." Ursula's crying and she says, "So do I." Camera cuts to a shot of Pin. It's Leon. He's sitting in Pin's chair. He's reached his final form.
Do you see?
Pin. That's Pin from 1988, directed by Sander Stern. Dan, hit me with that research.
Gentlemen, Pin from 1988. Like I said, there was some weird stuff with the release date. I got May 16th, 1988, I guess. I don't know if that was maybe a screen test or whatever. I don't have any info on the budget or the box office, but at the cinema that week, you could catch Friday the 13th, The New Blood, Bulletproof with Gary Busey, and Maniac Cop.
Whoa, Maniac Cop, dude.
That was a fucking good week.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't be bad.
New Blood is also the sleeping bag kill, right?
I think so.
Is it 5? I think it is. Or no,
I think it's 7.
4?
That's the
Jesus
Christ.
telekinesis chick, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's like the story overall is a little weak, but it's got one of the best kills in it. So what are you going to do?
And from memory on the director's commentary, I think this was like 3.9 million was the budget, something like that.
Okay. Yeah, I couldn't find anything on anything.
Gary Busey's Bulletproof. Is that the butthorn?
That is Butthorn.
There.
Yeah. You can find it on my Plex under the VHS library.
As we discussed, it is based off of a 1981 novel
Hey,
Right.
Butthorn.
by Andrew Niederman, who also wrote The Devil's Advocate. The movie that Leon and the girl go to see is Scanners. David Hewlett would later go on to star in Scanners 2, The New Order.
Fucking right.
And it was directed by the same man who directed Livewire in 1992. a 5DR original.
Fuck
Oh, Bones just bumped this up a half point. We should point out that Chris is wearing this film written and directed by, what's the guy's name? Niederman?
Based on a novel by Andrew Niederman.
Is that custom? Did you have that made?
Oh, yeah, and I was so worried it wasn't going to get here in time.
Did the company you bought it through be like, what is this?
No, they knew.
Oh, okay.
Redbubble's based out of Canada.
Real pinhead. Yeah.
Yeah, they knew what was up.
Our director, Sander Storm here, he is an actual doctor. Got his doctorate, but he did love writing screenplays, so he did sell a few. He did work most notably on 1979's The Amityville Horror. He did work on the screenplay for that. He has four children.
His medical partner was a anatomical dummy.
He might have had one.
Just in the commentary, he's like, I only went to medical school so I could write better screenplays. And I was just like, if that isn't just an indication of how much time has changed, because no one today is putting themselves $500,000 in debt to write better screenplays.
And just stop practicing. He did have four children. Three of his sons did form the hardcore punk band Youth Brigade.
Holy shit.
Fuck yeah.
They were pretty popular, actually. This is a New World Picture. We have covered Humanoids of the Deep, the Slumber Party Massacre, Dead Heat, and Pin as well from them. And that's all
Talking
I got,
about
gentlemen.
Pin. Oi, oi, oi.
So that's why I sent you guys the Youth Brigade song this morning. To the listener, I do send a song to say happy record day to Bones and Kron every week.
Is it called The Need?
I don't even remember what it was. But you can find that on my Spotify. It is a playlist that is continued.
Let me get through all of the puppet blaming text messages. It's called Blown Away.
But yeah, that's all I got for Penn, 1988.
All right, Kron, you ready to play?
Rate my box.
I think so, dude.
All right, to recap, Dan and Chris, you both locked Kron in at a 3.0. I gave him a 3.5. I'll go ahead. I'm going to give Dan a 3, Chris a 4.0. Dan?
All right, gentlemen. I am Bones. I'm giving him a 2.5. I will give Chris, I think I'm going to do the same, a 4.0.
I'm going to give Dan a 2.5 because that's what's on Letterboxd. He did not delete his score. I will also give Bones a 2.5.
Dan, I think your score went up. 3.0. You're a puppet guy. Bones, you're also a puppet guy. 3.0. Chris, you said you've seen this movie like 10 times. I'm saying 4.5. Why not?
Why not?
All right. This was a tough first watch, man. Those first 30 minutes. What am I in for? But if you stay with it, you get some interesting stuff. This is very creepy. I think it's an interesting thesis. Chris, thank you for that word. As this could be a little exploitative sort of psychological movie, but I think it does pose an interesting question. I think it manages to stay pretty engaging, considering that, Kron, to your point earlier, like it feels like it wants to be a horror, but it's not. I think the performances are okay. I think it does sort of slow down, and at a certain point, you're sort of just expecting, and it's not like a slow burn sort of. You know something's going to happen, like something's going to pop off, and then when it does, it really fizzles out really quick. I think it's an interesting watch. I think it's worth watching. 3.0.
All right, pin, gentlemen. Yeah, I think I can echo some of what Bones says. I think I have a few issues. I think we need a little bit more pin. I think I stated earlier, I would like a little bit more of a relation, or just more scenes maybe with Leon and Penn, and maybe a little bit more of Terry O'Quinn, just as a strange father, I guess. I mean, it's weird, yeah. It's interesting. It doesn't go the full on, there's a fucking puppet killing people, which is nice. I think I'm interested in this novel now that Chris has come on and told me a lot more. But yeah, this isn't bad. It's a 3.0 for me. It's gone up a little. I think I was kind of bored the first time I watched it. I think I might have looking at this before I picked Puppet Master 4, maybe. But yeah, 3.0 for me. It's not bad. I wasn't angry. I'm never angry, but I'm a puppet guy, so
apparently so.
You're not angry, but you're Sandra Stern.
Mm-hmm. It's also big of you to finally admit that you're a puppet guy. So thank you.
Yeah, I just want this to stop. So.
I guess that leaves me. Gentlemen, Pin, 1988. What is there to say? I feel like for the last 10 years or so, the horror genre has just been obsessed with 1980s nostalgia. But I would argue that those movies have a very myopic view of what the genre was actually like. I mean, you look at something like It Follows or Stranger Things. Yeah, they've got the synth soundtrack. They've got the bisexual lighting and the kids on bikes. But how many 80s horror movies can you actually name that are anything like that? I mean, Stranger Things in particular, ostensibly it takes place in the 1980s, but they have walkie-talkies that function as cell phones. There's also a character who is like a whiz at the early internet. So really the only difference between modern times and the 1980s as presented in these movies is the stuff you can buy at the store. Which brings me to one of the reasons that I think Pin is a hidden gem of the 1980s. This is an 80s horror movie. You got regular 80s people dressed in regular 80s clothing, driving regular 80s cars, and just doing regular 80s things in a way that is very untheatrical. There's a verisimilitude here, if you will. There's no like token, like, oh, this is the new wave character. There's no like conspicuous references to whatever was like the hottest trend in 1987. The characters in this movie are squares, and most of the people on the planet at any given moment in time are squares. And I just love that this is a window into the average way of life for 1980s Americans, if we'll say. Sure, it's not much of a horror movie when you get down to it, but when it does, it's not that much of a horror movie, but how often does someone tell you like, oh, there's this 80s horror movie that you have to check out, and it ends up just being like one scene that's kind of cool and you forget the rest of the movie. With this one, you've got what, in my opinion, is a killer performance from David Hewlett. You got Terry O'Quinn in there, and what Penn lacks in scares or gore, it makes up for with just a weirdo story that you've never seen anywhere else. And all of that, to me, is much more enduring than like Jason fucking bent this dude in half or whatever. So I'm, as much as I hate to say it or hate the term, this is a hidden gem from the 80s. I've thought about this movie at least once a month for, I don't know, the last 20 years. And for that, I simply must give this a 4.5.
Incredible. We're kicking off Puppets Revenge 5 the right way. Guys, Pin from 1988. I hate to ding this movie right up top, but there is some confusion. Who's a mom? Who's a maid? It's hard to tell at points in this movie. But ultimately, I think I would agree with a lot of what everybody said. I would love, just me personally, to see some more like crazy, fun Pin kills in this movie. It's hard to kind of have like a 80s slasher, 80s horror mindset and not be a little bummed out about like, oh, we don't get more gruesome, violent stuff. But at the end of the day, what this movie does lack in kills, it makes up for in sheer weirdness. There was 0 minutes of this movie that I was not entertained and wondering what the fuck is going to happen next. It is a bizarre ride. There is not another movie like Pin that exists. So I don't know, man. I had a fun time watching this thing, and I do just think like what it is lacking in other areas, it makes up for in how fully committed to its strangeness it is. I think I'm going to be a 3.5 on Pin. Big list. Organize. Refresh. Guys, Pin would have an average score from the four of us of 3.5. This thing would end up at number 46 on the big list. This would currently be right below Eve of Destruction and right above Alligator.
Bone sandwich.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
Guys, I do think Revenge 5, The Revenge of Puppets Revenge, is already off to a great start. I couldn't be more excited. If neither one of you is going to say it, I'll say it. I'm a puppet guy through and through. Give me more of these little weirdos running around causing mischief. It's fun. It's just fun.
Are you comfortable? I mean, this guy wheels around, or is wheeled around.
Mm-hmm.
And you're fine with that.
I mean, he's not a puppet. He's more of a doll. But I think it's close enough. I mean, of course, I would love to see just a little, 6-inch tall guy causing a bunch of fun hijinks. But like I said, Pin is weird. I had a good time watching it. I think it does fit into the puppet doll category. But I guess that's old news. I mean, we got to come back for the after showers so Bones can tell us what the hell we're going to be watching next.
Yeah. Kron, I got a 1. Chris and Dan, 0.5. Rate my letterboxd.
Fuck. It's rigged.
And
guys,
Rigged.
current scores for Rate My Letterboxd are Bones, you have 1 point. Dan, you have 0.5. Chris, you have 0.5.
Oh, shit. Peek
which is a
behind
way
the curtain, and there must have been a
kind of-
rewind.
uh-oh, yeah.
Uh-oh.
Somebody dropped a hint earlier. I figured you caught on to that. That's right. There was a rewind last week.
Mm-hmm. We are in a fresh round of the Rate My Letterboxd game.
Somebody called us cowards on Discord, and
I don't
did not like
I don't know who that was, but they're very brave for saying what needed to be said.
Mm-hmm.
They may not want them anymore after hearing that episode.
Yeah, it might be the last rewind ever.
It ain't.
All right, but yeah, I'll tell us, Chris. You want to stick around and find out, or are we letting you go?
Absolutely.
All right. Well, then, Dan, get us out of here, man.
As always, folks, if you're on Spotify or iTunes, please rate, review, and follow the show. It helps us with world domination. That's what they're aimed for. And to get Kron into office for 2024, if you really want to, write him in. You can follow us on the socials at...
I would do a better job than the two that we're going to get on the fucking ballot. So,
I don't know, man. I might be throwing my name in that hat. If you're you can follow us on this fucking socials, Threads, Letterboxd. I did update all of that today, so it's all up to date. And Instagram, I think we're on. Yeah.
how about this? A turkey on every table, a puppet in every attic. That's my platform.
Not voting for you. What's next? Oh, if you really want to fuck with us, there is a link to our Discord on every new episode that drops at 5 Day Rentals on Wednesdays. So get in there. You get Chris, you get us, and chat with us. Do whatever you want to do. Challenge us.
Tell a friend about the show.
Yeah.
Let a friend know that you're a fucking weirdo that listens to this.
Hey, and if you have any questions, concerns, reviews, negative reviews, positives, send us an email at 5dayrentalspodcast@gmail.com. Or if you want one of us to guest on one of your shows, or all three of us, go ahead. We're open.
But also a real friend, not an anatomical dummy
Yep.
that you've put a fake layer of skin on.
I would have thought that would have been inferred, but you're right, Kron. You're absolutely right. A guy who's probably listening to this, really excited that Pin is covered, is probably sharing, plug-in headphones. It's not a guy who's got Bluetooth. He's got one of those sitting in the ear of a fucking mannequin.
Yep.
I mean, I think I'm kind of interested in that. So.
But tell us, come on, man. Tell us what you want out of the show. Tell us what you don't like on the show. We're coming. We're in our 4th year now.
Challenge us.
Come on.
We're brave. We can
Yeah,
take
if you like puppet movies being covered, say you like puppet movies being covered.
Please don't.
I
We'll do
like
more of them.
puppet movies being covered.
All right.
And to
do another-
rewind
We'll do another
bi-weekly.
round.
Crash and burn.
Crash and burn.
My poetry's private.
For an easy screw, Ursula will do.
All right, welcome back to 5 Day Rentals. Thanks, Kron, for walking us or wheeling us through PIN, rather, with this new category that I dare not even attempt to repeat. This is the after showers. Guys, banana bread. Was I right or was I right?
It's delicious.
Mine got super soggy, dude.
You didn't eat it quick enough.
You said to put it on the soap tray.
Not the one. Not that one. There was one clearly marked. Had a nice yellow ribbon on it. I see Chris isn't speaking. He's just
Eating.
yeah.
Trying to get the taste of selenium sulfide out of my mouth.
See, he's smart. He saved his banana bread for after the shower.
Well, that's because he was guzzling my head and shoulders, man. Would it be itchy all weekend? Snow in the forecast.
If you have problems with dandruff, fuck.
This is the after showers.
Yeah, we don't need any.
Yeah,
ads
this is like
nobody's made it.
no,
this
yeah,
far.
nobody's really paying a lot of money for advertising in this portion.
Mm-mm.
It's like product placement in like a post-credit scene. You don't see it. You don't see Nick Fury standing next to a Pepsi machine.
Yeah, that's where they put the RC Cola machine because they can do whatever they want.
Mm-hmm. All right, guys. We've covered many movies on this show, and I have developed a pattern for maybe picking movies that might be aimed a little bit more at kids or families. I get it, but I'm nostalgic for a certain era of movie. And when you think about all the stuff going on today about AI and, things coming alive, I think maybe that's what like Kron's obsessiveness with puppets comes from, because he's terrified of AI. I think in a way, like, because AI could maybe do your job or something. I don't know. And that scares you. So what would happen if like a puppet or a doll or an action figure or a mannequin came alive? What are you going to do? But I got to do it. I got to do a family movie, because this category is restrictive, man. Full Moon has a fucking squeeze on goddamn puppets.
That's part of the challenge. That's what keeps us fresh.
Yeah.
Well, don't worry. We'll allow Full Moon back in on the next puppet category.
Yeah.
God damn it.
And I know, as I'm saying this, you know what I'm going to say, so let me just say it. We're going to 1940 and we're watching Pinocchio.
Is that really your pick?
My pick is Pinocchio from 1940. We've covered his revenge. Let's do the prequel. Let's figure out why he's all pissed.
Thank you, Bones.
The heart of this category is little puppets causing mischief.
Okay. Have you seen fucking Pinocchio?
Violent mischief.
Those kids turn into donkeys.
Kids are smoking cigars, and that's mischief right there, dude. Playing pool and smoking cigars. He gets drunk. No, that's Dumbo.
People are going to accidentally click on the episode.
There's an explicit.
I'm sorry. Do you have a problem with my puppet pick?
Yeah, I don't think it's in the spirit of Puppets Revenge. The category is Revenge 5, The Revenge of Puppets Revenge.
What was Pin's revenge?
He got back at society, dude.
Yeah. He got back at the fucking light brown hair, hazelnut eyed jock that told him he couldn't fuck his sister.
Yeah.
This is the ultimate puppet movie, though. This is what all this is based off of.
Yeah, the puppet movie.
Fine. We'll watch Pinocchio. Fine. There are other killer puppet movies that exist that we've not covered.
Man, I know how this whole category comes out.
Did Disney make a Pinocchio 1.5 that Dan's going to pick?
I
They
hope.
made a sequel.
I hope.
Jonathan Taylor Thomas Pinocchio.
You know what? We're gonna keep watching
Del
these.
Toro.
We're gonna keep watching these fucking puppet movies until you guys do it right and you take it seriously.
This is fucking horseshit. How am I not getting this right?
He
I would
followed
agree.
the criterion.
Criteria is revenge of puppets' revenge. Who is Pinocchio revenging?
Geppetto.
Oh, yeah.
Fine, we'll watch Pinocchio. I don't give a shit.
There's no fine about it. You don't get to question. You're not. Yeah, it's not. I'm not asking
care.
for permission. I've picked it.
That's what we signed up for.
Yeah, you're watching Pinocchio.
Fine, I'll do it. I guess I'll do it.
1940, our first cartoon.
It might be our first original Disney classic.
Chris, what's your
Bones is-
history with Pinocchio?
Haven't seen it since I was below the age of 5. I don't agree with your methods, but god damn it, do you get results?
Are you coming back next week?
No.
Oh,
Do you think this is in the spirit of the category?
It's a puppet.
Do you think this is clearly I'm tired of fucking watching puppet movies,
Well,
so I'm just gonna...
I mean, the announcement of this category hasn't been released to the public, so I don't know what was said. For all I know is that it's puppets without full moon, and as Dan said, it meets that criterion.
I think when I announced it, I said little guys getting into mischief.
What's more mischievous than going inside a whale, turning into a donkey, smoking cigars?
I think this is against the spirit of the category.
I had a conversation with you in Nashville. I stated
and I
many
made it very clear.
movies.
I made it very clear.
You said it has to feature a doll or a puppet. It
I gotta
can't
say,
be full moon.
I said they got to be doing bad stuff.
We're going to have to double check on that.
By today's kids, God,
you
Backing
keep
yourself
saying
into a corner.
You keep,
7-year-olds are smoking cigars now.
Yeah.
Who gives a shit?
I stand by my fucking choice.
As you should.
Thank you, Dan. Come back next week. The magical world of Disney is upon us. Kron, self-proclaimed puppet dude, will have his loyalties tested. Chris will be comfortably asleep next Thursday night. And he'll get to hear that episode in a month and a half. But until then, crash and burn.
I think Pinocchio's getting his revenge here.
Be a better real boy.
Puppets forever.
What is it? Is the penis see-through?